Don't beg when they don't reply. Send this and never be ignored again. Old Stoic wisdom. Have you ever sent a message, pouring your heart into each word, only to be met with deafening silence? It's like shouting in a crowded room, but no one hears you. That silence cuts deeper than any rejection. You wonder, did I say something wrong? Am I not enough? Should I have tried harder? Here's the truth. The more you chase, the further they pull away. Begging for attention doesn't bring them closer. It hands them the power to push you further away while quietly draining your dignity. One desperate message at a time. So why do we do it? Why do we feel the need to fix the silence, to explain ourselves? Because deep down, you're tired of feeling invisible and want to be seen, acknowledged. But here's the harsh reality. Most people approach the situation from a place of desperation. They think the solution is to justify their presence, to apologize for taking up space. Stoicism offers a crucial lesson here. Control what you can and let go of what you can't. You cannot force a response, but you can control how you react to their indifference. You control your actions, your dignity, and your peace of mind. Now, let me share with you 6 transformative strategies. These aren't tricks. They're rooted in psychological principles and self-respect. These tools will not only help you break the silence, but will make them crave your attention. By applying these techniques, you won't just stop begging for scraps. You'll command the respect you deserve without saying a single word of desperation. Every step will teach you how to reclaim your self-worth, how to shift the dynamics, and remind them that your presence is a privilege, not something to be taken for granted. Here's my promise. When you master these techniques, you'll stop chasing and start attracting. This isn't about manipulating anyone. It's about showing up as the best version of yourself, strong, confident, and unforgettable. And it all starts with the most powerful response of all, saying nothing at all. Remember, silence is not absence. It's power in disguise. Don't just wait. Be the one who leaves them wondering what comes next. Are you ready to stop begging and start owning your power? Let's begin. 1. The silence sting. Let your absence speak. In a world where constant communication defines our relationships, it's easy to believe that our worth is measured by how quickly we receive replies or how much attention we get. But what if the most powerful response to indifference is not a follow-up, but silence? This isn't about retreating passively, it's a stoic decision, one of self-respect. When you reach out and are met with silence, the instinct is often to fill that void, send another message, ask for clarification, prove your interest. But chasing after someone only teaches them to devalue you further. Think of it as holding a handful of sand. The tighter you grip, the faster it slips away. The more you chase, the more you lose your own dignity. Instead, choose to let go. Allow their silence to stand, not out of revenge, but out of self-respect. When you withdraw, you present them with a void that forces them to confront your absence. As Marcus Aurelius said, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. You stop chasing, not out of weakness, but because you refuse to devalue yourself by begging for attention that isn't given freely. Silence is not weakness, it's self-regulation. It's a powerful statement of your worth, refusing to beg for attention. When you withdraw in the face of indifference, you send a clear message: your attention is earned, not a right. If someone takes you for granted, ask yourself, are they really worth your time and energy? The power of silence lies in its absence. People rarely value what they have until it's gone. By stepping back, you create a void that forces them to notice. It's like turning off a light. You don't realize its value until the room is dark. They will begin to miss what they once took for granted. The messages, the warmth, the effort. You stop giving, and suddenly they feel the emptiness. But Stoicism teaches that silence isn't a manipulation. It's about boundaries. You're not staying silent to make them chase you, but to preserve your self-worth. Silence declares, I will not chase someone who doesn't meet me halfway. When you stop investing in someone who doesn't appreciate it, you stop pouring into a cracked vessel. Now, you might wonder, doesn't silence seem cold? It's not cruelty, it's clarity. You're mirroring their actions, not playing games. If they withdraw, you withdraw. If they don't respond, you stop asking. It's not punishment, it's setting boundaries aligned with your self-respect. Over time, your absence will speak louder than words. Without your constant messages and follow-ups, they'll wonder, why haven't they reached out? What if I've lost them? They'll feel the sting of realization far more than any words could inflict. Your silence forces them to face the consequences of their actions. The beauty of silence is that it preserves your dignity. By not chasing someone who doesn't reciprocate, you demonstrate quiet confidence. Your presence becomes a privilege that must be earned. This kind of quiet strength is magnetic. It attracts respect because you know your worth. For this to work, you must accept their silence as an answer. If they don't reach out, that's your cue to move on. Stoicism teaches us to accept what we cannot control. You cannot force someone to value you, but you can choose to honor yourself by walking away from situations that don't serve you. Next time someone ignores you, resist the urge to chase. Don't double text. Don't justify. Don't beg. Let the silence speak for you. Sometimes the strongest statement is saying nothing at all. If this resonates with you, share your thoughts in the comments below. Silence speaks volumes. Let's stand together in reclaiming our power and reminding the world that our worth isn't defined by someone else's reply. 2. The breadcrumb strategy. Spark curiosity, not desperation. In relationships, the temptation to chase someone who has gone silent can be overwhelming. You pour your heart into a message, carefully choosing your words, only to be met with silence. The urge to chase and explain yourself can be strong, but it often leads to the wrong path. So before sending another long, emotional message, ask yourself, why do I feel the need to chase? What do I hope to achieve by begging for attention or apologizing for simply being myself? The truth is, when you over-explain or flood someone's inbox with messages, you're not building connection. Instead, you're showing desperation, which makes you seem needy and easy to ignore. Desperation isn't attractive. It pushes people away, even when you think you're doing everything to win their attention. This is where Stoic wisdom becomes invaluable. Stoicism teaches restraint and emotional control. When faced with silence, it urges us not to react with panic or chaos. Instead, it calls for a calm, measured response. In relationships, this means resisting the urge to fill silence with more words, more explanations, and more pleas. Instead, let your actions speak for themselves, thoughtfully and purposefully. This is where the breadcrumb strategy comes in. It's subtle, intentional, and highly effective. Rather than pouring out all your emotions, drop just enough to spark curiosity. Breadcrumbs don't demand attention. They invite it. They leave enough room for the other person to wonder, creating an irresistible pull. Think of it like reading a novel that ends with a cliffhanger. You can't help but turn the page, eager to know what happens next. That feeling of anticipation mirrors the psychological pull you create when you send a breadcrumb message. It's about leaving them with a question they can't ignore. Instead of saying, "Why haven't you responded?" Зрение. Вы можете отправить что-то вроде «Вы только пересекли мое сознание. Интересное время». This simple, open-ended message sparks curiosity. What does interesting timing mean? Why did you think of them? It makes them wonder, shifting the dynamic from chasing them to letting them chase the answer to your subtle message. Another example could be, I saw something that reminded me of you, but it's hard to explain. Again, the goal isn't to provide immediate answers, but to create a mystery that lingers in their mind. They'll wonder what you saw, why it reminded you of them, and whether it was a positive or negative association. Your silence, paired with this cryptic message, taps into their natural curiosity, drawing them back toward you. This works because of a basic human need, the craving for closure. Our brains are wired to seek answers when something is left unfinished. By leaving a gap with a breadcrumb message, you compel them to reach out for resolution. The beauty of this strategy lies in its restraint. When you send a message like, "I just realized something about you today," you leave everything unsaid. The ambiguity makes the message powerful. It's simple but creates intrigue. They'll want to know what you realized, whether it's a compliment, a revelation, or something else. The key is not to over-explain. You're planting a seed, not providing a full explanation. If they respond with curiosity, then offer a brief, light answer. You're not throwing your emotions at them. You're letting them come to you on their own terms. Breadcrumbing isn't manipulation. It's about creating genuine intrigue and re-establishing respect. It's about showing someone that you're still there, but not chasing them. Your words, when used wisely, are enough. Your silence, when paired with the right message, speaks volumes. It reminds you that you don't need to prove your worth to anyone. You don't need to chase. You just need to let them come to you. Next time someone ignores you, resist the urge to send a long, emotional message. Instead, drop a breadcrumb. Keep it short, light, and intriguing. Let them wonder what you're thinking. If they don't respond, you haven't lost anything. You've reinforced your self-worth. But if they do respond, you'll know it's because you earned their curiosity, not because you begged for their attention. 3. Pull the rug. Be unpredictable. When you've been ignored for too long, do you find yourself sending the same desperate follow-up over and over, wondering if the next one will get a response? You've probably done it before, sending, "Hey, did you see my message?" only to be met with silence again. But here's the cold reality. Predictability is boring. When you're predictable, there's no spark, no mystery, and no reason for the other person to engage with you. Think about it. Why do we love a good plot twist in movies? Because unpredictability grabs our attention and forces us to focus. That's the same principle when someone is ignoring you. If they've already made up their mind about what you'll say next, it's time to flip the script. It's time to pull the rug. But pulling the rug doesn't mean being rude or manipulative. It's about sending bold, unexpected messages that make them stop and think, "Wait, what?" You've taken control, and now they have to pay attention. For example, try sending a simple message. "You know what? Never mind." It's just 4 words, but it hits like a punch to the gut. It disrupts their expectations, and suddenly they're wondering, what were they going to say? What did I miss? You've turned the tables, and they're the ones wondering what happened. Another example could be, "Wow, didn't expect that from you." This message doesn't accuse or explain anything. It just plants a seed of doubt. They'll start wondering, what did I expect? Did I mess up? What's going on? Now you've created curiosity, and curiosity is a powerful thing. Or you could send, "Guess I'll have to find someone else for this idea." Too bad. You would have been perfect. This message plays on their fear of being left behind or replaced. Nobody likes to feel excluded or miss out on something they could have had. It's light-hearted, yet it carries a sting that shakes them out of their complacency. But here's the key. This isn't about begging. It's about showing confidence. You're letting them know that you don't need them to validate your worth. You're bold, you're unpredictable. And when you show that, people start paying attention. Timing is everything. Don't rush to send these messages right after being ignored. Let the silence sit for a while. Let them feel your absence. Then, when you send that unexpected message, it will have an even greater impact. This is the essence of Stoicism, acting with purpose and precision, without reacting emotionally. You don't chase. You don't beg. You take your time and act deliberately. When you pull the rug, it's not out of anger or resentment. It's a reminder that you are not someone they can take for granted. It's about reclaiming your power and showing them that you're not waiting around for someone who doesn't value you. Imagine you're watching a movie where you already know all the twists and turns, the characters, and the ending. It gets boring, right? But when a sudden twist happens, it grabs your attention. You lean forward. You want to know what happens next. That's what pulling the rug does. It makes people lean in. They start wondering, what just happened? And in that moment, you've shifted the dynamic. This isn't about playing petty games. It's about reminding them that you're someone worth noticing. You're saying, I'm not here to chase you, and I'm not here to beg for your attention. I'm here because I am worth it. Now, I challenge you. Next time you're ignored, don't send the predictable, desperate follow-up. Instead, choose one of these bold messages. You know what? Never mind. Wow, didn't expect that from you? Guess I'll have to find someone else for this idea. Too bad. You would have been perfect. Keep it short, keep it mysterious, and, most importantly, don't explain yourself. Let them wonder. Let their curiosity pull them back to you. And if they still don't reply, that's where Stoicism shines. You don't let it shake you. You don't let their indifference define your worth. You've shown confidence. You've shown unpredictability. And that's enough. The right people will notice you for who you are, not for how often you beg for their attention. Are you ready to stop being predictable? Are you ready to flip the script and remind them that you're someone who can't be ignored? If this message resonates with you, I want you to take action. Like this video, drop a comment below with the words, Number 1. Let me know you're ready to embrace unpredictability and reclaim your power. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. Hit that subscribe button so you can keep learning these powerful tools to shift the dynamic in your favor. Because remember, the most magnetic people are the ones you can't quite figure out. They're confident, they're unpredictable, and when you start pulling the rug, you become someone they can't stop thinking about. Stay tuned, there's more to come. Comment, I am bold and unpredictable. 4. The hook, they can't shake it, gets stuck in their mind. Have you ever had a song stuck in your head, replaying over and over? That's the power of a hook, something simple yet unforgettable. Now, what if your words could have the same effect? A well-crafted message that lingers in someone's mind long after they read it. That's the magic of a great hook. Here's the truth. People don't ignore you because they're uninterested. They ignore you because your message doesn't stand out. It doesn't spark curiosity or leave a lasting impression. This is where the hook comes in. It's a message that's so compelling, so thought-provoking. They can't help but respond. But it's not about begging for attention. It's about using restraint, speaking with intent, and creating curiosity without looking desperate. Imagine sending a message like, I just realized something about you, and it's kind of blowing my mind. It's vague, personal, and intriguing. They'll wonder what you realized and be compelled to ask. Or how about, I can't believe I never noticed this about you before. It's simple, yet loaded with emotional weight, leaving them wanting to know what you noticed and why it matters. Another example. Have you ever thought about how you do that thing you're so good at? This message sparks curiosity and subtly compliments them. It makes them reflect on something they excel at, making them feel recognized and special. The beauty of the hook is that it doesn't beg for attention, it commands it. The more you chase, the further they run. But when you create curiosity, you spark their mind, and they'll feel compelled to respond. Stoicism teaches us to act with composure and restraint. Instead of sending follow-ups or pleading, choose your words carefully to create intrigue. The key is to leave some mystery. When something is left unsaid, their mind will fill in the gap, creating an irresistible urge to respond. And this is where Stoicism comes into play. Your words should carry power, but only when used with restraint. If you over-explain, you lose the intrigue. You can even tie your hook to something personal. If they love art, you could say, I just saw a painting that reminded me of something you once said. It's crazy how accurate you were. It's a compliment. It connects to their interests, and it leaves them wondering what painting you saw, what they said, and why it was so accurate. Now, your message becomes a puzzle they're eager to solve. Confidence is the secret to mastering the hook. You're not chasing a response. You drop the hook and let it work its magic. Whether they respond immediately or hours later, you know your words are lingering in their mind, like a song they can't stop humming. So would you rather send a desperate message that gets ignored, or a single line that leaves them thinking about you for hours? The choice is clear. When you use the hook, you're creating an impact. You're showing you're thoughtful, intriguing, and worth their attention. And the best part, the hook works even when you're silent. Once you plant that seed in their mind, it stays there. That's the power of well-crafted words. Craft your own hook, short, personal, full of curiosity, and let it do the work for you. Then, wait. Don't explain. Don't chase. Trust that your words are enough. People remember how you make them feel. A good hook makes them feel special, intrigued, and curious. It shifts the energy back to you, making them wonder why they ever let you slip into the background. If this resonates with you, take action now. Like this video, comment number 1, and hit subscribe. When you master the art of the hook, you'll never have to beg for attention again. Your words will linger, and they'll be the ones chasing you. 5. Play it cool. Confidence over desperation. How often have you found yourself overthinking when someone ignores your message? How often do you feel the pull to explain yourself, or worse, send another message just to get their attention? We've all been there, but here's the hard truth. Desperation speaks louder than you think. When you chase after someone's attention, you give up your power. You stop being the confident, grounded person you know you are, and transform into someone anxiously awaiting validation. But what if, instead of reacting with desperation, you could play it cool and completely shift the energy? Playing it cool doesn't mean pretending you don't care. It means you know your worth so deeply that you don't need anyone else's approval to feel validated. Stoicism teaches us this valuable lesson. You can't control how others behave, but you can control how you respond. And when you respond with calm, collected confidence instead of panicking, you send a powerful message. I value myself enough not to chase after your attention. Imagine this. Someone ignores your message for hours or even days. Instead of following up with something like, "Hey, did you get my message?" Or, "Are you upset with me?" You take a completely different approach. You send a message like, "I figured you'd be busy, so I'll catch up with you later." What happens here? You're acknowledging the situation without showing frustration or desperation. You're calm, unbothered, and self-assured. You show that their silence hasn't affected you. You've simply moved on with your day. And here's the thing. That kind of confidence is magnetic. It makes them stop and think, why aren't they chasing me? Why are they so calm about this? Did I miss something? Here's another line that can work wonders. I had something interesting to tell you, but it can wait. This isn't passive-aggressive. It's pure confidence. You're subtly telling them you have something valuable to share, but you're in no rush to beg for their time. You've turned the tables. Now, they're left wondering, what did they want to tell me? Why doesn't it seem urgent? So let me ask you, how different would your life feel if you stopped chasing? Imagine carrying yourself with the quiet confidence of someone who knows their worth, who doesn't need approval or validation from anyone. How much lighter would your interactions feel? When you play it cool, you step into the version of yourself who doesn't seek validation. You embrace the truth that says, I'm enough, whether you see it or not. And the reality is, people are drawn to those who are emotionally steady. Desperation only repels. Confidence is what attracts. Responding to silence with calm detachment rather than panic is far more powerful than any words you could say. Here's the final thought I want to leave you with. When you truly value yourself, others can't help but value you too. Confidence isn't just about how you see yourself. It's about how others begin to see you when you stop chasing after their approval. So stay with me, because we're just getting started. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom. Comment to remember, I am enough whether you see it or not. 6. The spark of nostalgia. Reignite the connection. In relationships, silence often feels like rejection, leading to self-doubt. But silence is not a reflection of your worth. It's simply the absence of connection. Instead of begging for attention, let nostalgia do the work. Nostalgia bypasses logic and goes straight to the heart, reminding people of simpler, happier times. Rather than sending a desperate message, Try a memory-filled one like, I just remembered the time we got lost and found that amazing cafe. It was one of the best days. This doesn't demand anything but invites reflection. People don't forget connections. They forget the feelings tied to them. A nostalgic message cuts through the noise of life and offers a chance for reconnection without pressure. Even if they don't respond, you remain calm, confident, and true to yourself. Nostalgia doesn't ask for validation. It invites them to remember the good times and who they were with you. In Stoicism, we learn to focus on what we can control and let go of the rest. The power of nostalgia lies in your hands. You offer it, but you can't control their response. If they reconnect, great. If not, you've remained grounded and confident. As Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Don't let silence make you question your worth. Keep the memories alive, stay true to yourself, and remember that your value is inherent, not based on someone else's response. Thank you so much for sticking with me throughout this video. We've covered 6 powerful strategies that will ensure you're never ignored again. We've learned how silence can speak louder than words, how subtlety can spark curiosity, and how calm confidence can shift the entire dynamic. Now, you're in control of how you approach connection. Each step you've taken has brought you closer to reclaiming your power. You don't have to beg for attention to prove your worth. You're here to show up with self-assurance, clarity, and strength. When someone ignores you, you have a choice. You can react with desperation, or you can respond with poise. You can let their silence shake you, or you can use it to reflect your value back to them. You can walk away knowing you stood your ground and stayed true to yourself. This is what self-respect looks like. Stoicism teaches us that we can't control other people's actions, only our responses. And these strategies aren't about forcing someone to care. They're about showing up as someone who's impossible to overlook. So here's my final thought for you. The people who are truly worth your time and energy will notice when you stop chasing. They'll feel the absence when you stop begging. And those who don't notice, they were never deserving of your presence in the first place. Let me ask you this. Are you ready to stop begging for attention and start commanding it? Are you ready to embrace the version of yourself who knows they are enough without needing anyone else to validate it? If you're ready, take action now. Like this video, drop a comment below with the words number 1, and let me see you claim your power today. Say goodbye to overthinking and over-explaining. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more strategies for mastering connection, building confidence, and achieving personal growth. Remember, your presence is a privilege. When you believe that, others will too. Stop chasing, start attracting, and watch as the right people lean in to meet you where you stand. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I believe in you. I believe in the power of your words, your actions, and your presence. Now, it's time for you to believe in yourself. You've got this. Let's keep growing together. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay strong, stay confident, and remember, the silence you own today will echo with respect tomorrow.